playing poker, and so I had to face some of these problems. Should I get my education? Should I go to graduate school? And I feel I made the right decision, although poker did interfere with some of my schooling, and it is the reason why I stayed in graduate school 10 years instead of knocking out my PhD in a couple of years, because I was traveling around the world playing poker. But now getting to see all that, it's the reason why I am giving them all the advice to stay in school, get your degree, get your maturity. A lot of them make the mistake of thinking that I think they need the education. They say, I'm making plenty of money playing poker. The education is secondary. It's the maturity, it's the socialization. College is where I grew up. And college is where these kids who aren't going to college, a lot of them aren't growing up. Especially the ones that are hanging out in Vegas, and you see them because they're hitting on you, I'm sure, and they're going to the strip clubs and they're drinking and all that kind of stuff. They just don't have the maturity.
But then there's the ones who also they don't have the social skills that some of the others have.
Well, there's that too, whatever that's worth. But really, even the business skills, there's so many different things. And what they end up finding out, and what we're going to see, we're going to have the next. You know how there's the baby boom, and then you see what the baby boomers go through at the different stages of their life? We've had the poker boom. And we're going to have, and we're already having some of it where the economy's bad, where you're going to have all these kids who were real skilled, and now 5 years later, many of them are broke, even though they're skilled players because they wasted the money, the games aren't as good now, they didn't invest well, and now they're broke and they don't have other skills, and maybe the games have dried up and they've got bad habits, some of them got into drugs, and now some of them are also, even the ones who are successful, are saying, I can't do anything but play poker. And then just as, because a lot of these kids, if they're skilled at poker, poker takes a lot of skills, math, logical understanding, psychological skills. So we're talking about smart kids. But intelligent people aren't going to feel fulfilled if they only know one thing. They're going to be better rounded. Did I say that right or not?
I think so.
Okay. They want to be better. They'll want to be better rounded, and so when they're 25 or 26 or 27, they're going to start saying, "I should have gone to college." And I've even seen it with my own daughter Tina. Tina was a straight A student when she was young. She ended up not going to college when she graduated from high school and living with her boyfriend and hanging out. Sorry to make this all public, Tina, but really went through a similar thing where she's a real smart kid, and when she was 21 years old, she said, "I can't take this anymore, that I'm just not making progress in my life." And she just got really depressed that she needed to do something with her life, and she went back to junior college. Now she's going to University of California at San Diego, and Tina now is working super hard. She's gonna, I know I can say it. Some kids, just because they plan on doing it, you can't say it. Tina is going to go to med school, and Tina will be a doctor. But if she'd have stayed in that phase that she was in of never developing intellectually, she would have had a really sad life. And so we're going to see these poker boomers, a lot of them getting really depressed when they're in their late 20s and 30s, even the ones who have money. And most of them are going to not have the money also, is what we'll see. And, hopefully the next group, because a lot of these kids didn't take my advice, the next group maybe will have more people giving them the right advice. And, again, one of the gratifying things that I get is almost every tournament I go to, and I don't know if you know that, you see some of the kids come and talk to me, there will be a kid that says to me, "I got my degree because of your advice. I stayed in school because of you." And I get that all the time, and I get that around the world. People email me and tell me that stuff. And not only does it work well for them and for their socialization, for their maturity, for them learning more things, but it also works out real well for their family life with their parents. Because invariably their parents were telling them to do this because their parents didn't understand poker. Now the kid's always saying, "You don't understand, I'm making money." I don't know how many times I get a kid writing to me saying, "My mom thinks I should be going to school, but I don't like school, I'm bored with school." And I say, it takes more discipline to be a professional poker player than it does to be a student. You should be able to do it. You should be able to force yourself. You should be able to take courses that you enjoy. There should be something at a big university that you actually like to learn about. So don't tell me you don't like it. So I get these kids always saying, "My mom thinks I'm doing the wrong thing." And I always write and say, "Your mom's right. I agree with what your mom's saying. Listen to her. Stay in school. Get your degree. Learn some things. Grow up."
So that's your reasoning for going on the forums and posting.
Yeah, that is one of the motivating factors. That the reason I even stayed with the poker boom and have kept my role in poker is I do feel a responsibility that I've gone through this. I've been through, obviously in a different time, I've been through what these kids are going through, and I think I have a lot of advice to give. And a lot of them probably look at me as an old guy who comes from a different time and doesn't understand what they're going through. But fortunately, there are a number of them who do respect what I have to say.
Some players say that you have the biggest ego in poker. What's your opinion on it?